So welcome back guys once again to my YouTube channel Study Abroad Academy. My name is Shakhar and I live in UK and make videos for the students who are planning to come to UK. So first of all, sorry I was not able to upload video last week because I was busy with my dissertation. You have to submit a dissertation in end of your master's, that's compulsory, in which you have to write a lot of words. So I have to write between 15 to 20,000. That's mandatory for me, so I'm just busy writing that, and I have to submit on Tuesday, so fingers crossed. Let's hope for the best. So coming back to today's topic, it's gonna be the comparison between accommodation hostel in India versus what it is in UK. So how they are different, it's gonna be very interesting and it will definitely give you a lot of information. So please watch it till the end and let's begin. So over the 5-year time period, I've lived 1 year in student hall. Second year, I lived in student housing. That was like not a university accommodation, but it was still for students. And then after that, I went for a placement and I lived in private flat. And when I came back from my placement in Liverpool, then also I started to live in private flat. So now talking about dorm size in UK is comparatively bigger as compared to India. The room size is bigger because it is for one person, but in India you share a room with either 2 or 3 people. And over here, like you have your own study table in one room, one bed, and your own wardrobe. You don't have to share with anyone else. It's not allowed to share things. So in any accommodation you go, you'll have in your contract it will be like one bedroom per person. Okay, secondly, in India, over there you have to share toilets. There's like very rare concepts of ensuite. So wherever it's PG in India or hostels, you have to share toilets. But over here there's concepts of ensuite rooms, so you can find a lot of ensuite rooms over here. If someone doesn't like to share toilets with strangers, you should always go for ensuite rooms. I always prefer to live in ensuite room. The second parameter is cost. So UK accommodation can be quite costly अगर आप इंडिया से compare करोगे तो. So generally in India, in top schools or even in Delhi University, because I know the rates over there, accommodation costs between 5 to 15,000 rupees per month, which is quite a good deal, and sometimes you get food also included in that. But over here in UK, generally university accommodation that is on the campus will cost you around £600, and it could go to £1,200 per month. So you can see there's a lot of difference between the prices of accommodation. And if you're going for off-campus accommodation in a university, it will also cost you between 400 to 600-700 pounds, and if you're living in London it would be much more. So there's a lot of difference between the prices, and over here you don't have food included in that. You have to cook your own food, so you have to buy your own food and cook it, so which will be extra 150 pounds a month. So if you don't know cooking, please learn and come cooking, because it is very important over here. And one thing, I know the UK off-campus accommodation is a little bit cheaper as to on-campus, but one thing you need to remember is that for off-campus accommodation over here, you would need a UK-based guarantor who can guarantee in case you don't pay rent or anything happens. So you would need a UK-based guarantor, otherwise they wouldn't let you live in private accommodations in UK. Next point is alcohol and party. So ये सबका favorite point होने वाला. In India, the alcohol age is 25, the legal age. I know उससे पहले सब पीते हैं, but legal age is 25. So in dorms over there, you are not allowed or prohibited to take alcohol or take cigarettes. पर सबका वहाँ पे सुट्टा शॉप होता है हर accommodation के बाहर. But you're not allowed to take inside any of these things like any of alcohol or cigarettes. But in UK, it's completely allowed. Over here, the legal age is 18 to drink. So you are allowed to take alcohol as much as you can, as much as you want to take inside your accommodation and have party over there. And in UK, their accommodation is also having smoking areas because they don't let you to smoke inside because of fire and safety reasons. But still, they have made a smoking points outside or downstairs where you can go and have a cigarette over there. And in India, for parties and things, there are restrictions that, for example, you are not allowed to go out of your accommodation or things after 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, or they close the doors, or you're not allowed to bring outsiders to your accommodation. But over here, there are no rules like this. You are allowed to go whenever you want. You are allowed to come whenever you want. Just be safe, and you are also allowed to bring anyone if you want to bring in your accommodation. But recently, in one article, I think Cambridge is stopping to allow students to bring strangers because of COVID reasons. But other than that, you are allowed to bring anyone and come anytime. Because I remember in university in first year when I was living, sometimes we used to come back at 4 o'clock from a night out, or coming back at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. From library, because library was 24 hours. So it was quite fun, and you have your own freedom. Just take care of yourself. That's what I'll say. Next point is girls and boys policy. So how does that work over here? So in India, there is a concept of having a girls' hostel separate and a boys' hostel separate. Girls' PG is different, boys' PG is different, and boys are not allowed to go in girls' PG. Girls are not allowed to go in boys' PG. So there are rules like that. But in UK, there are no rules like that. You have a same accommodation. You would be living together. So for example, in our block, there was like in our row there were 7 rooms. So out of 7, there were 3-4 boys, and there were 3 girls living in the same accommodation. So someone who's having next room can be a girl or something. So there's nothing like that. Beta, man mein laddu phoota. You can have girls anytime you want, or you can have guys, and you invite your friends anytime you want. If you want a party, you want to do a group study, you can definitely do that. There are no restrictions over here that about for girls and boys to that you are not allowed to go in any of the accommodation. And apparently in our university, we also had the same changing rooms in for the swimming. So it was not like open, you have cubicles inside, but it was same. So they don't have something different that it's just for girls or it's just for boys. It is same for everyone over here, all the accommodations. Then the next point is kitchen sharing. So as over here, you don't have mess as you have in India to someone to cook for food for you. And in India, I've seen advertisements of mess or dorms or PGs that says purely vegetarian food would be served, or veg and non-veg would be served, or non-veg would be served once in a week. So there are rules like this in accommodation in India. But over here, as you have to cook your own food, you have a same kitchen, you have same fridge and things. So people who are purely vegetarian, like you have to share your kitchen, your fridge with someone who eats non-veg, or someone would be having would have kept beef or any of the meat with your food. So you need to be comfortable with that, because you can't raise, or university won't be able to help you with these things. So I would just advise all these students who are planning to live in university accommodation, be comfortable with these things. I know you wouldn't like it, but over here you don't have an option, because your next roommate would like to eat beef and he would have kept the same thing in the fridge, and you cannot stop him. Okay, my next point is of group studies. In India, when we have exams, we call our friends and we study in the same room, do all nights and study hard for the exams. But over here also, we study hard for the exams. We invite a friend. The only difference is that no one does a group study over here in a room. You do a group study over here in the library. So you book your student rooms. So in library, there are options. You can book study rooms and things. So you book it and you study over there, depending on whatever time you want to study, for how long you want to study. But you study in library. No one comes in your room, or you don't go to anyone's room and sit there all day or study. And if you are having a social gathering or something, you'll sit in the kitchen. Over here, no one goes to anyone's room to sit. So I hope you really enjoyed this video and you were able to gain some extra information from this video. If you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe button. And if you have any doubts or any comments or any feedback, just comment below and I'll try to answer as soon as possible. And see you next week with new topic. And I'll be trying to bring more and more videos after my dissertation is done. So see you later.